Hey guys, I'm going to be going back to the March of the Demons fight to be showing a easier way to do it. It's not really full budget, but it is easier than my first clear. So we're going to be using Fina for surviving the ambush. You need either Evasion, Mirage, a Last Stand ability, kind of like Queen Super TMR, or just enough survivability to survive naturally, which would be about 8 to 900 defense and about 13,000, 14,000 hit points. But we're going with Evasion because it's the most reliable. It doesn't need to be Fina, but it does need to be a healer that can re-raise and AoE raise as well. So Fina can do that. Myra can do that. I think Ayaka can. I'm not sure, but just a healer that can re-raise. We're going to be using Zahn for paralyzing the boss. Now, Zahn is important because he's got an ability called Rash Impulse that is a 100% chance to paralyze, and it can be dual-wielded because the boss does have some resist to paralyze, so it can fail, but he's got a 100% chance. We're dual-wielding it, and we gave him some weapons that increase the chance to paralyze even higher. So Zahn should be paralyzing the boss no problem, and other than that, just a little bit of limit build gear for the mission, not a big deal. Timothy is our breaker. Bring any breaker you want. He's an old favorite, so he's getting off the bench. His gear is not important. Cersei is going to be our chainer. Now, I equipped her in only gear from Trials, free gear. So I'm showing that you don't need like a super geared chainer. Any chainers are fine. Cersei is good because she chains water, and Malphasi chains water with a water weapon. Any water weapon is fine. Other than that, his gear is pretty generic, or her gear. As you can see, we're going kind of cheap just to show that this is not gear dependent, other than the two people to survive the ambush. So let's go ahead and get in here. The missions are no deaths. We're going to fail that one. Also, the missions are use white magic and kill with the limit burst. So here comes the ambush. It's going to kill off Timothy and both the chainers, failing the mission. Oh, and the friend slot. I could have grabbed any friend I wanted, but I'm just showing that you can do it with a 5-man team. But obviously, you would bring in another friend to make it even safer. Alright. So here comes this. Okay, so Fina is going to go ahead and raise everyone else with her AoE re-raise. And she's going to re-raise herself and Zahn. Now, you could have done this with like dual cast or something, maybe single target, but it would be slower. But that's okay. Now, Zahn is going to Rash Impulse, which is going to paralyze the boss. Now keep in mind, the boss does have paralyzed resistance, so there is a chance that this could fail. But with his 100% chance and the weapons that increase the chance, it's pretty likely to work. So there we go. So the boss has been paralyzed. We've got now 3 or 4 turns until it wears off to kill the guy. And while he's paralyzed, he can't put up his break immunity. He can't put up his break immunity anymore. So Fina's going to go ahead and Shining Shear and Divine Veil. That's going to go ahead and let me break with Timothy. And now Malphasi is going to chain Turmoil with Cersei, who chains Water. So as you can see, we're not going for a one-shot, we're just slowly working the boss down. And Zahn will reload that Rash Impulse to keep that paralyzed refreshed as long as possible. Okay. So we'll go ahead and Divine Veil and Shining Shear. I think I already did that. We'll just break again for the sake of it and keep chaining. Okay, so we're obviously going to win next turn. Go ahead and Rash Impulse again to paralyze the boss. Now the boss, his paralyzed resistance does increase each turn that he's paralyzed. And after 3 or 4 turns, he's going to come out of paralyzed and you can't paralyze him anymore. But you don't need too many turns when you're doing it this way. So we're going to kill the boss this turn, obviously. So we're going to go ahead and get some Limit Burst ready for that mission. So we're going to go ahead and chain, pop some limits. Oh, we didn't quite get it. Well then, that sucks. He might come out of paralyzed this turn. We were a little bit slow. Okay, no, he's still paralyzed. So this turn is the absolute maximum. This turn, he would break out of paralyzed guaranteed. So you need to kill him within 5 turns. But 5 turns, is pretty generous. So we'll go ahead and finish him off on the first. I wanted to finish him off last turn, so this is not the way I wanted to do it, but, you know, it gets it done. Alright, so there we go. 2 out of 3 missions. Now, again, I didn't bring a friend. You could have obviously brought any friend. You could have done this in, like, 2 turns, this method, whatever. So it fails the unit of... not the unit of choice. It fails the 10 Lapis mission for no deaths. If you're struggling with the fight, you know, 10 Lapis, just not a problem. Don't worry about it. Go in there and knock out those other 2 missions, get that really cool 2-handed katana, and take care of it. So to recap, the important things were Zahn to paralyze, or anyone to paralyze. It doesn't have to be Zahn. He's just the best choice because of that rash impulse ability. Some paralyzed weapons, and the Mirage suit so he survives the ambush. Fina so she survives the ambush, and the rest of the team's not too important. Alright, I'll see you guys for the next one, hopefully.